GPS wasn't created for civilians. It was a military control system. It was designed to track missiles and enemy movements in real time. But today, that same technology sits in your pocket. And every time you open a map, a system built for war pinpoints your location within just a few meters. GPS has become so normal that we rarely stop to think about how it works. You open a map, you see a blue dot, and you just keep moving. But GPS isn't an app, it's not a smartphone feature, and it's not the internet. It's a global infrastructure operating continuously above the entire planet. Above Earth, at an altitude of around 12,500 miles, satellites are constantly moving. They travel at over 8,700 miles per hour and orbit the planet twice a day. And each of them, without stopping, broadcasts signals down to Earth. Not video, not data, but precise time and their position in space. GPS doesn't see you. It doesn't scan you. And it doesn't track you directly. It works the other way around. Your phone is a receiver. It simply listens to satellites. Each satellite sends a signal with an exact timestamp, the moment the signal was transmitted. Your phone receives it with a microscopic delay. Those nanoseconds are critical. Radio signals travel at the speed of light, so even the smallest time difference reveals distance to a satellite. One satellite places you on a sphere, 2 on a circle, 3 at 2 possible points, but when your phone detects a 4th satellite, your position becomes precise. Latitude, longitude, altitude, all calculated in less than a second. One of the most common myths: GPS doesn't work without internet. In reality, it does. The internet only helps load maps faster. The GPS signal itself comes directly from space. That's why navigation works in deserts, mountains, oceans, and even in the air. Aircraft, ships, rescue services, and militaries rely on it. Even when all communication fails, GPS keeps working. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite. American scientists noticed that by analyzing the radio signal, they could determine the satellite's position, and that led to a reverse idea. If you know where the satellite is, you can determine where anyone is on Earth. But the military saw something bigger: missile navigation, submarine positioning, strategic bombers. This led to NAVSTAR, the predecessor of modern GPS. Civilians had no idea this technology would one day live inside their smartphones. When GPS was opened to civilians, its accuracy was intentionally reduced. This feature was called Selective Availability. It introduced artificial errors. Civilians received accuracy within dozens or even hundreds of meters. The military retained precision within just a few meters. In 2000, the restriction was removed, and from that moment, GPS became as accurate as we know it today. One of the least obvious facts: GPS works thanks to Einstein. Clocks on satellites tick faster than those on Earth, because of differences in gravity and orbital speed. The difference is about 38 microseconds per day. Without correction, coordinates would drift by miles every day. That's why GPS constantly applies relativistic adjustments. In fact, every route you follow depends on space-level physics. GPS is only the American system. There are others: Russia's GLONASS, Europe's Galileo, China's Beidou. Modern smartphones use multiple systems simultaneously. This increases accuracy and signal stability. Despite civilian use, GPS is still controlled by the U.S. military. Accuracy can be adjusted in certain regions. Signals can be jammed or restricted. During conflicts, this has already happened. Civilians only access the open version of GPS. Encrypted signals exist but remain inaccessible to the public. GPS is used for far more than navigation. It synchronizes bank transactions, mobile networks, power grids, stock markets. If GPS disappeared, parts of global infrastructure would shut down. The world is literally synchronized by satellite time. GPS never asks questions. It simply determines where you are. A system built for war has become part of your everyday life. And if you look deeper, you begin to see a completely different side of technology, the side we rely on every single day.